Hello, everyone. So, it's time to talk about the real story of the vacation, the road trip to what is potentially the largest collectible toy store in the country. And that comes with a few caveats. I know what I put in the title of the video. One, I'm not for sure if this is the largest toy store in the country because it's 65,000 square feet, and I've yet to find a collectible toy store that is larger than that. And I mean like retro stuff, imported stuff, actual vintage and collectible stuff, not just like your everyday things you find at Walmart, kind of just big toy store. No, this is like wall to wall collectibles at 65,000 square feet worth, and it isn't technically one single store. It is one facility, but really, Frankenson is essentially, it is a dealer room from a large convention with no convention attached to it. So it runs more like a flea market, except this flea market just happens to be 100% devoted to collectibles. Most of it toys, most of it vintage toys. There's plenty of Pokemon booths because that's what's hot right now. There's a few sports booths to get those collectors satisfied, but for the most part, about, I'd say like 70 to 80% of this place is toys. And it's the largest facility for toys I have known to exist in America. I think only like some places in Japan rival that. Could be mistaken though, but to my knowledge, it's the largest. So when me and Matt first talked about me visiting him, even like years ago when we first planned that, this place was in his head. He'd been here before and he knew that this would be like my kind of place. He described it as my Mecca. And not too far off if I want to worship at a plastic palace. Just check that up. That should have been the name of my toy store. So, is a long road trip, a fun road trip. Because it's very few people I can talk to for like 6 hours straight and not like lose interest or run out of things to say. Matt is one of them, and that is a really rare thing to find. So, road trip out there was fun. Meeting friends here was fun. No, this was just like, whew. If you've never been, I didn't take video, mostly because they never answered if I could take a camcorder in there and record around. And so I just took a whole bunch of photos. So let's go take a look at photos and you'll see what this place is like. So this is when I first walked in. Like this is just like the first thing I saw. You can see all the, you see like anime stuff here on the left, anime like displays. Mostly the same thing on the right. But if I look to my right, you can see how far down that goes. And see where that Toys R Us logo is? There's another space like beside that. It's like a separate room thing. So it goes even farther back than that. And then I turn to look to the left. There's a whole side room as well beyond those pillars, and then even more. So you start getting like the ridiculous scale of what this place is. And even from those photos, you can already see like the selection is all over the place. And I can just go through this. This is just one display of Power Ranger toys. And one random wizard driver. But yeah, you can just see just like how ridiculous it gets. This is all Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure pieces. Yeah. And then just random stuff like Dino Zone. What was dinosaurs here in America. And a random Metals Quick Strike out of nowhere. And this place just kept going and going and going and going. And it just didn't stop. I spent 4.5 hours here and I could have stayed all day if I didn't have companions to worry about who were getting hungry. But you can just see the ridiculous amounts of product here. Look at all the Masterpiece toys. Look at all the third-party stuff. I really should have gone through the third-party stuff more than I did. It's just ridiculous how much is there. I almost hate to look back at the photos because I'm going to see things that I went, oh, I meant to pick that up. And this photo is a perfect example because there are, in this photo, there are models for Luna Trigger and Heat Metal the Kamen Rider double figurized standards, always meant to pick those up, never got the chance. They were right there. I could have just grabbed them. Oh well. But yeah, like this place just keeps going on. Pokemon statues and light up standees, tons and tons of card booths with lots of slabbed cards, as well as just big boxes and bundles of things. Lots of pinup stuff. Street Sharks logo I didn't notice when I went there the first time. Like, and it's just going to keep going on and on and on. Here's just one Transformers display I found with tons and tons of loose figures and some nice boxed ones as well. Just noticed the Universe 2.0 Starscream that I might have picked up if I had noticed it earlier. There's one Cybertron backstop in the back. That's another thing, is like I ran into a lot of past plastic addict victims on this trip. But you can see just how much it keeps going. Like, I think this is the other side of that booth. So you start seeing some Spawn, a Mystic Knights of Tir-Na-Nog figure out of nowhere, X-Files, Batman. You name it, you can probably find it. Anime figurines, easy to find. Nendoroids, easy to find. It just kept going. I can't say enough about just how ridiculous it is. Look at this shot right now. You've got collectible glasses, a remote control Wall-E, a Japanese Voltron. We have a Boglin, Big Lebowski figures, an autographed Little Nicky figure, an autographed Batmobile from Adam West, and a Batarang, and with Burt Ward's signatures too. Just the sheer variety, it just boggles my mind to realize this is all in one place. Macross toys, like legit Macross toys. They're just a big, someone salvaged a Toys R Us logo and just put it up. Had a bunch of little signage from Toys R Us, which was beautiful to see. Look at all the Digivices. The vintage Voltron. Very, very cool to see. You can see, look at the Ranger keys. They had, this guy had, the premium Ranger keys that had all the mecha instead of just keys. Super cool. I will say, this is from, there is one booth in there that is nothing but tokusatsu stuff. Legit Super Sentai, Power Ranger, and Kamen Rider stuff. Piles upon piles upon piles upon piles of it. All of it ridiculously overpriced. When I first saw this place, me and some friends, we saw this place when we just got to browsing YouTube videos after we were watching wrestling one night, and we just lost our minds because this place was so huge and had so much to offer. When I saw the Toku booth, I went, I gotta go there. I gotta get something from that booth. I didn't actually buy anything from that booth because everything was so ridiculously overpriced. And that's one thing you're going to have to worry about. It's like any other dealer room, is that everyone has their idea of what a good price is. Some are going to treat you fairly. Some are going to try and take every dollar they can get out of you. So you got to be mindful, just like if you were in a dealer room. And I'll give you an example when we get to my actual haul. But yeah, you can just see the Power Ranger stuff just keeps going on and on. I almost got the Jungle Fury set there. Because, it's, when am I going to get a Gekirin Toja Wolf, right? And you see just piles upon piles of exclusive stuff. I really wanted to get some of this. Because I love Progrise keys. One of my favorite gimmicks in years. All too expensive. I think he wanted $60 for Serval Tiger alone. He wanted $200 for the Metsubo. He wanted over $230 for the Metsubo Jinrai set. No. No. But it was a very cool booth to see. Just all the different Toku stuff piled up and just ridiculous amounts. I just noticed the Car Ranger thing there. Oh, and I can't even tell what it is. I think it's the Blaster. Yep, there's like I said, there's a sports section too, and that did include a booth that is just championship belts and wrestling toys. This one was closed, so I didn't get to have anything from that. Here's the original Star Wars set with the display base and everything. Kind of ridiculous to see in person. And it wasn't even the only one there. Lots of old Star Wars big bundle boxes, like super cool to see. Lots of like even more vintage toys here. 90s Spider-Man, 90s Batman. Yeah, lots of superhero stuff. Yeah, look at this. What can you see in this picture? How much can you see? You can see some vintage Digimon. You can see some Cybertron figures still in the box. You can see some vintage Power Rangers, some little ones. You can see the reissue of the Transformers Generation 2 Tiger Electronics game. You can see Coneheads figures. Like, this is what I meant. Like, it's hard to find. It's hard. You're hard pressed to not find what you're after here. Now, to be fair, there is stuff I was looking for and never found. That like 5-inch Scyther figure that has like 4 or 5-inch Scyther figure Hasbro made back in the 2000s for Pokemon. I didn't even see anything from that toy line here, let alone that Scyther. That one still eludes me. But I had so much fun just going through and seeing like all the retro stuff all hanging together, despite my phone being really fuzzy at times. Just a lot of stuff I have not seen in person ever, or things that I haven't seen in a long time. So a lot of nostalgia. Man, my camera went way out of focus for a while, didn't it? Yeah, and you can see boxed Metroplex, boxed Omega Supreme, boxed Vehicle Voltron, boxed GoBot, the villain ship. I can't even see the title here. This same row, if you continue to the left, had boxed Ninja Megazord and boxed Shogun Megazord. Like, ridiculous stuff. Who can I trust? There's got to be someone who goes to Frankensons often that I can, or is close enough to Frankensons to go that I can trust. Because this booth here, I had to leave something behind at this booth because it was, I'd drawn too much money from my bank account that day. It wouldn't let me draw anymore, and the item was cash only. I couldn't get it, and it eats me because it's a really rare thing. I can't even find one on eBay. I don't even want to say what it is, just in case I can find someone who can go grab it for me. But that's kind of the feeling I had. There's so much I could have bought, like so much more I could have bought. Budget allowing, time allowing. Lots and more Transformers of various generations here. I meant to pick up that Universe 2 Dirge down there, because I need someone to do a custom, and I think that Dirge is going to be the cheapest way of getting that mold in order to make that custom. But yeah, high-end statues, absolutely beautiful pieces. There's Marvel ones and a lot of Star Wars ones here, but there's Marvel ones as well. Tons of vintage cards, like again anything. Hey, you can someone really quick. You can spot the fake cards Logan Paul bought. They're in the shot right now. Not the actual ones he bought, but like the same ones. But great little trips down memory lane. And then stuff like this. Just randomly ran into Figuart Kamen Rider stuff. The Decade was $130 even though it was opened. That's way overpriced. I didn't bother with Lost Ankh or Kazari. Getting one greed, I think, would lead me down the rabbit hole of getting all of them. And I can't really afford that. Nightmare on Christmas stuff, like they had little collectible things like this too. Not nearly as many. Almost everything was just like normal toys. Or I say normal. A lot of this stuff is super rare. You can see some third-party stuff in there. That hard head especially, but more vintage G1. Obviously, I took pictures every time I came across Transformers. Here's even more. A lot of newer stuff in this shot. Yeah, vintage Power Master Optimus Prime in box, right next to a Seiza changer from Q Ranger, and on top of that is the upgrade piece for Kamen Rider Snipe. It's like a schizophrenic toy store. Like, just, it changed, like, every time you turn the corner, it changes personalities. And every time you look at a different wall from the same booth. You know, look at the massive stuff here. You've got a brand new Galvatron, but you've also got Dragon Ball Z, you've got Yokai Watch, there's a Kamen Rider Garen bike set in the shot right now. If you look on the right side, where it looks like in the middle of nowhere, you're going to spot 2 Sochaku Henshin Kivas, which were the prototype for what would eventually become SH Figuarts. Super cool to run into. And my camera went upside down for that for some reason. You see a Gabriel Iglesias autographed Funko Pop there. I missed him by a week. He was actually signing autographs there a week before I got in. It would have been super cool if that happened at the right time. Biker Mice from Mars. Right next to Dragon Ball Figuarts, because why not? I can never remember if it's Vari Dorin or Vari Balloon. It's one of the 2 Go Ranger ships. Still cool to see. You can see the $1,200 on that Power Ranger set. Whew! Lots of vinyl Godzilla and Ultraman beasts, looking amazing. It's such a good loadout. Thank you, camera. Fuzzy and upside down. That's not going to help anyone. There's a lot of vintage figures here. There's some vintage G.I. Joe in the shot. There's some vintage Rock Lords as well, but of course it's hard to see. I don't know why. My camera is doing some really weird stuff lately. It's the orientation is messed up. I need a new phone so bad. Yeah, so vintage He-Man stuff. I took like twice as many pictures as that, but like I can't like show you everything. Partially because this OBS won't let you have like an infinite amount of slideshow space, which is stupid. But I could just go on and on and on. This is the most fun I ever had in a toy store because it really was like a dealer room, except any dealer room I've been in has been a weird mix of a little bit of what I'm really into and a lot of what I'm not into. You know, here I was into almost everything I saw. There was very little space taken up by things that like I could like overlook and not pay attention to. The most incredible toy experience I've ever had. I'm not saying it's worth a 3,000-mile trip all by itself, because it is essentially a big dealer room. If you have access to a big Comic-Con event or something, you're probably going to have an equivalent experience in a dealer room like that. I don't know if it's 65,000 square feet of dealer room space, but this experience is still going to be similar. I would say, like, if you're in that Southern California area somewhere around Los Angeles, like, if this is like let's say like a 3-hour drive from you, I'd do it. I would absolutely do that. I might make that trip once a month if it was me, you know, but you know, that's just me. So the big question, what did I get? You know, what didn't I get? I got so much from this one store. This is like a convention. It's like a haul that I would come back from Metrocon for, but except it's all like crazy rare stuff. So I'm going to start with one of the best things that I was picking up along this entire road trip, not just Frank & Sons, but also the shops that I hit around Phoenix and LA, was getting back things that I regret selling. It's not many things that I wish I had kept, but they do exist. And one of them was an Action Master Thundercracker. Love having this guy back. Absolutely love it. I don't really think Hasbro is going to produce an Earthrise Starscream mold that has these colors, but I'm happy to have it back in all of its garish glory. It's nice. Something you saw in that shot, I found these. So these are Galaxy Force Hyper Galaxy model kits. They do not transform. They're just like basically mini Pla, but for Transformers. So it's gonna form just like nice little renditions of, you know, Master Megatron, Galaxy Convoy, and Galaxy Convoy Super Mode. And if that wasn't enough, a different booth actually had these from Superlink. Megatron, Optimus Prime as well as his drones. And unlike the Galaxy Force ones, these will actually transform, and they'll even combine once they are fully built. So that's actually cool. I'm actually kind of looking forward to having like a tiny little version of Energon Optimus or Energon Megatron, because I always really liked the look of that design. That'd be cute to have it like just like a tiny one floating around. The one thing in Frankensons is like just like a dealer room, I like to make one lap of the place and then go back for the stuff I grabbed. And at this place, that's a mistake because one, the place is just way too huge. One lap of this place is going to take you hours. And by then, whatever you had your heart set on might be gone. Or, like I found out, the dealers might just close up shop and leave before the whole place is closed for the day. I actually was going to go back to that overpriced Kamen Rider booth because they had the double buy stamp that I do not have. Screw those prices, but I would have done it with just that one thing because, oh, I can't get it at any of my normal stores. Just like a dealer room, really. So it's better to just grab it when you can get it. So the first thing I ended up picking up of all this was a Nendoroid Rockman, the Metal Blade version. I had the normal Rockman or Mega Man Nendoroid, sold it. Don't know why. Stupid decision. Didn't see that one, but I saw this. And if I'm going to get a recolored Mega Man, it's going to be the Metal Blade. Really side note, if you are having trouble beating Mega Man 2 for the NES, here's your strategy. You pick Metal Man stage first, you get the Metal Blade, you equip the Metal Blade, and then you beat Mega Man 2. And you think I'm exaggerating? I'm not. It's just that overpowered. So, Nendoroid Mega. To the Mega Man collection it goes. I found way more GoBots on this excursion than I expected to find, that I actually wanted. GoBots is in that realm of like transformable plastic that I barely ever touched as a kid, so now as an adult going back, it's like super neat to me. So one of the things I grabbed, still in the box, Spacey. $40 might be a little bit much, but for a Super GoBot that's still in really nice shape, I think that's not too bad at all. Still in the box and all. I don't know if I'm going to keep the box, but, you know, it's kind of neat. I had a Super GoBot as a kid. I had Destroyer. I actually saw Destroyer on this trip, but it was, like, way more expensive than I wanted to pay for it. Alright, so one of the advisories I have with this is like any other dealer room is mind the prices, because it is very easy to find something that is sanely priced at one booth and insanely priced at another. One of those booths that I showed you had like the Imaginext Megazord just like hanging up on a hook, and they had a tag on it for $150. You cruise Facebook Marketplace or one of your like, you know, local apps, and you can probably pick one up for like $20. They wanted $150, so you really have to be careful. So you saw it in the photos. I did get that Metals. I did get the Metals Quick Strike. To my knowledge, it's no different than the American one, but I am doing this like sealed collection for Beast Wars. This certainly is like, this is a sealed figure. It doesn't really go in with all the carded figures I've been collecting, but it's a neat addition. And for $25, a sealed Metals figure, that's actually pretty reasonable. Considering I saw this exact same toy at another booth later on for $60, and then I saw it again. 3 of them were at Frankensons, and the third one wanted $100. Eat me. No. Thrilled to find this. If only because it's like a backup Quick Strike if my American one fails. So I kind of have more faith that the Japanese plastic is a little bit higher quality. Or at least the plastic in the Japanese run was higher quality. You never know. That same booth had something else that I've always been curious about. And I know this toy is a time bomb. but I've never played with one. I've never experienced one, so I actually want to try it out. I did get one of those Dino Zone figures, the Shadow Mammoth to be specific. There were a few booths that actually had Dino Zone toys. Now, keep in mind, none had Dinosaurs, the American releases. All of them had Dino Zone, which was weird. One booth, I just saw them like overhead when I was passing by. I couldn't even see, like one of the Transformer booths had them like on an overhead like bridge thing. Couldn't even see a price on them, but judging by the prices he had for everything else, gonna be too much for me to take a dip on this toy line. It doesn't look great. It looks like it's just gonna have a massive mammoth head on its chest. But again, $25. Look at the size of it for $25. That's like Voyager size. Like absolutely crazy. So just for the experience alone, and considering this thing is like chrome and translucent plastic all throughout, I'm probably going to open this one on camera so we can experience this together, because I might not get the chance to review it. But no, not my first choice of dinosaur. I would have really wanted to... They did have the dark version of the T-Rex, but that was that one that I didn't want to overpay for. None of them had the Serpentine Dragon. I can't remember what his name was. So yeah, this was probably as good as I was going to get, considering I want to take it easy and just kind of like experience the line. Should have gotten both that booth had. They were both only $25. Ah, well. One of the things that I found out was that carded figures will not survive on your luggage unless you pack them exceptionally well. I had a few mishaps in transporting some of those back because I didn't have space for all of them in my carry-on. So there's some carded figures that didn't survive as well as I was hoping. Looky, it's Insect Man, your favorite tokusatsu hero, Insect Man. You know? And then you can see his other forms. You have the Robo Yellow guy, and then Mr. Blue. Mr. Blue. You know? Favorites. I don't think I can go on a toy excursion without trolling myself in some way. I have the proper Masked Rider Count Dragon hanging on the wall. That was a previous trolling. This was going to be another. But the card back, I don't know if you can see it. The card back got wrinkled up a lot. It got banged up quite a bit in travel. And the bubble, which was already, since this is a knockoff, the bubble is already pretty cheap. It's coming off the cardboard. I'm probably still just going to hang it up and laugh at it more than anything. But you know. I really wish it had gotten here in better condition. Likewise, we have this guy. I only saw like 2 carded Beast Wars toys the entire trip, which was actually sad to me. I thought like the biggest toy shop in America, I'd be able to actually add to my vintage Beast Wars carded collection. Nope. I think one booth had like... Now that I think of it, I think there was one booth that had a few Transmetals, or I might be thinking of another toy shop. I can't even remember that. I saw so many toys in the last 2 weeks. But yeah, Terragator. And you might be wondering, if you've been paying attention, don't you already have a Terragator? Yes, I do. And in this case, the bubble is almost entirely off the card, which is not a problem because I bought it so I would have one to open, because I actually do want to play with a Terragator. I'm a Floridian who loves turtles, so a crocodile, a literal alligator snapping turtle? Yes. Have to. So this one was to open anyway, so that one I really don't care. Here's the one that irked me. This one was really upsetting, because this is one that I'm in this thing now where I want to have like some of my favorite toys from childhood sealed on card and hanging on the wall, because I like that little like nostalgic kick from seeing them like in the package. So one of them that I've been on the lookout for has been a Kenner Alien. I collected Kenner Aliens as a kid, and I loved them. It's one of my favorite toy lines. So they had a few to pick from, and the one I picked was the Bull Alien. Pretty reasonably priced. So the Bull Alien has a little gimmick where if you hit the button on the back, it the head like shoots forward on this like extended neck. Somehow that triggered in the middle of getting tossed around in the luggage cargo hold of the airplane. And my bull alien managed to bust through the bubble. One, that's a strong gimmick. Now, it's a pretty old bubble. It's a little bit yellowed, so yes, it was definitely brittle. So that definitely helped it. But I just think it's hilarious. How appropriate for aliens that it was trying to actually burst through. So the thing is, like, there's part of me is like, I could press it down and maybe the bubble will still look okay. But, like, look at this. Like, it cracked all the way through. Like, it didn't just bust a hole. It cracked the entire bubble. That's a strong bull. So, unfortunately, I think this one is just going to be, like, another alien in the swarm. And I'm probably just going to open him up and just goof around with him from time to time. Put him in my, like, I've got a shelf over there for, like, vintage toys that I like. So, I'm probably going to end up putting it there. Really just, it's upsetting. I really want that one to stay sealed. Oh, well. We'll look for another one. Maybe, what I need is a scorpion alien. That was my favorite. Another theme of a lot of these purchases I was making on this road trip was making up for mistakes of the past. Things that I had passed on many, many times and then finally told myself, you know what? Nope. Not going to pass on that again. This time it's coming home with me. And same booth where I bought something else very big that I'm going to bring up here in a bit. But also, they also had Abominus. I believe, I want to say at Acme Superstore they had one. And then my last time I was out in Fort Lauderdale, they had one. And I keep passing on Abominus over and over. I think I've had like 4 or 5 opportunities to get a Abominus. Like at least a complete team with all the combiner bits. And I just kept passing on it. Which I don't know why, because I really like Abominus. I like the different units. I like having the rival to my favorite combiner, Computron. So yeah. Enough was enough. I wanted Abominus. I think this was like $110, which he's missing all the little guns, but he's got the main one. He's got all of his armor. That's all I really want out of it. He looks like a complete Abominus to me from here. So that was super cool. That was super cool. Love having the quintet here. Gotta find a spot for him where he can just like leer at Computron for a bit. And here, if you've never actually like goofed around with an Abominus before, like check this out. So, like, aside from the fact that I just like really like how he looks, but you also have like some neck articulation, and you have like actual like universal hips and knees, which the knees are really high up, but like you can actually get posability out of this toy. Like it's actually like a posable, like a somewhat posable G1 combiner, which is a little bit crazy to me, but still super cool. When me and my friends looked through the videos of Frankensons, there were some things that we spotted that I said I absolutely have to find, and I thought I found it, but apparently not. There was a Kamen Rider Agito set. There was apparently like a 10 figure like mini vinyl set, I assume, because usually like 10 figures, it's always a mini vinyl collection. We saw it in a video, just stacked up in amongst a pile of toys. Didn't no idea which booth it was. I didn't find it. I didn't find anything like that. But what I did find, probably the one piece of Agito anything in that entire place, a 3-pack of unknowns. 3-pack of villains. That is really cool to me. Yeah, this is where I need to dig out my Sochaku Henshins of these characters and just like have them all displayed, like all fighting. Because, yeah, that's super cool. I don't even know if I want to take that out of the box, because like it is, the tape is like sliding off, but it is technically sealed. It's technically completely unopened. But yeah, spotted that. 30 bucks. 30 bucks for a sealed set of Kamen Rider figures that's over 20 years old? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, but if you want deals. Oh, if you want deals. I'll give you deals. So, first off, you saw those Galaxy Force toys. Now, the one booth had a red alert that I should have gotten when I saw the price. When I found out the price of the one I did buy, I should have just bought red alert too. But another booth had two others. It had Terra Shaver, which, similar to the issue I had with the one figure I won't mention, just in case I can get help with that one. I couldn't draw cash out in order to get that Terra Shaver. But I did have enough money for a Noise Maze. Now, I still have my US one because this is one of the best figures in Cybertron. However, the Japanese version just has a better paint job. And yeah, I'm not going to say what the price was, but I felt the price was reasonable for what it is. So that was super cool to find. And just like, yeah, it's been a long time. I have Galaxy Force toys again. And speaking of, one I did sell, and I wanted it back. Now, I had Crumple Zone. This is Land Bullet. Now, like Noise Maze, he is completely sealed all the way around. You can see the tape, completely undisturbed. You want deals? How's 25 bucks sound? Yeah, for an unopened Galaxy Force toy that's approaching 20 years old. That's crazy to me. It's absolutely insane to me. Thrilled. So like I said, like I should have just got the red alert, because the red alert was probably like 15 bucks for all I knew. But happy to have him back. Happy to have him in a better deco than the American version. Yeah. I don't know. Like I might just leave him there and just like find a shelf space for him because he just looks so nice. This again, like I love how like special the Galaxy Force packaging was with like the different planets named and displayed on the box. It was a really cool period in Transformers, as I've mentioned many, many times on this channel. Random stuff I never expected to find, didn't even know existed. So this is a sealed box of Slayer's trading cards. I didn't know Slayer's had trading cards in America. As far as I know, it's American. It's all in everything relevant is in English. Yep, so 7 cards per pack, 36 packs per box. This box contains between 0 and 3 premium cards. So, I'm probably not getting a full set. But, this is probably a video at some point. We'll open this up and see what we got. Slayer's, by the way, my absolute favorite anime. So the fact that I found anything Slayer's there, I think, is exceptionally cool. Especially something I didn't know existed. How about we reclaim a childhood toy? Like one of my favorites growing up as a kid. The last time I did a big toy haul was from Acme Superstore in... one of the toy hauls I did in... I'm thinking the one I went out to in Fort Lauderdale. I got the Mask Switchblade. The mask toy for the villains that always escaped me that I always wanted. Thrilled to finally get it. Well, that's not the one I grew up with. The one I grew up with was the Rhino. Look at that. Look at that powerhouse. This was Mask's Optimus Prime. And I don't just mean that because this is like a semi-truck, obviously. But that was the big deal vehicle for the heroes on the first year of the series. Amazing to have it back. It is complete. You can see both drivers are in there. All of the all the springs and gimmicks still work. It does have the missile, which I've elected not to put on. One of the mirrors is broken off, but it is included. I do have it, so I just have to glue that back on. That's an amazing piece of my childhood reclaimed. Never thought I'd actually have the Rhino again. Beautiful. I do need the air spoiler. I do need the spoiler that goes up here. The one that turns into like the little radar dish. That's the one piece that's missing. But beyond that, like, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful to have. And we're going to finish off with, like, the one purchase I spent the most money on individually. But for what it is, the price is actually really, really good. So, the same booth where I got Quick Strike and the Dinosaur and, what else did I get there? Got something else. Oh, the Thundercracker, the Action Master Thundercracker. All of them really well priced. So I also got a good deal on something I never thought I would actually own, but the price was right. It was a really special item to see in person, and apparently had never left, it hadn't gone any farther than Pasadena. Yep. Oh, heavy. The BotCon 2009 Wings of Honor set. Not a set I ever thought I would own, but again, the price for what it is was actually exceptional. According to the owner of this, they never even had it out of the box. So I presume it came straight from the convention in Pasadena. Yeah, and I think the only thing about it is like the cannon on Land Shark is like coming off. It just snaps back in. If I can get it to snap back in here. It's not broken. I can see it's not broken. It's just like I just need to reclip it. Yeah. There we go. Because I just wanted to put the missile back is all I wanted to do. Yeah, but look at that. Look at that. Get some of the best molds in Cybertron and a couple weird ones from Energon while we are at it. I still have my BotCon Slicer, the Shatterglass Wheeljack. I need to put him and Thunderclash there together and come up with and make a really weird and really expensive combiner. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. We did confirm all the accessories are in the bottom below the foam, so everything is included. So apparently, yeah, this came from the BotCon. This was in Pasadena, this particular BotCon. And apparently they bought it, sat on it, and put it out for sale as a, I don't know, I guess an attention grabber. But hey, it grabbed my attention in my wallet. All right. So, is that a big enough haul for you? That was Frankensons. Now, technically not like one store, because this came from like 8 or 9 different booths, I think, that I ended up buying stuff from. And like I said, I would have bought more if it hadn't been for like my bank telling me I couldn't use my own money. But that is going to do it. Frankensons is amazing. If you're anywhere within driving distance, check it out if you have the chance. Absolutely incredible place, and just thrilled, absolutely thrilled with the stuff I found. So, coming up next, we have the second half of my haul. This was only half of my vacation. You know, some people spend thousands at Vegas on vacation. Some people live luxuriously for a week on vacation, spend thousands doing that. I go to toy stores on vacation, and I spend my savings that way. So I will show you the next half of it in tomorrow's video. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and hope you'll learn like just how special of a place Frankensons is. And yeah, maybe, I don't know, I could see a scenario where I might end up back there someday. I'll have to find out. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.